Hi, and good evening. Welcome to 6287. This is your internship, and for many of you, this is the capstone to the work that you've done at GW. My name is Michael Cieslak, and I will be your instructor for the course. Hopefully, by now, you've had a chance to review the syllabus in Blackboard. I've also put a little welcome letter under my profile in Blackboard. So, if you have any questions about that, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to move forward in this presentation. Tonight, we're just going to talk about the syllabus a little bit, required meetings, our reading and discussion boards, as well as the weekly reflective journal and internship log. I'm going to be talking kind of fast, so feel free to stop, rewind, pause, that sort of thing. Before we get started, the best way to contact me is by email, followed by text, and my phone number or cell phone number is in the syllabus, and finally by phone. If I don't recognize a number, often I won't answer the call right away, so please leave a message and I will get back to you. So we are going to begin with Module A, and these are the objectives. I'll give you a second to look those over. And Module A you can find in Blackboard as well. If you have any trouble finding the modules, please let me know. So let's go over the syllabus. The syllabus, actually, that's an old screenshot, and I apologize for that, has been reworked this year. So there's a little bit of a learning curve for me, but after reviewing the syllabus and the reading documents, there are a lot of similarities, but definitely a lot of improvements. And I'm really excited to be on this journey with you. So today we're going to talk about, again, the required meetings, discussion boards, weekly reflective journal, and then we're going to save these other elements for later this week. Okay, I find it's a little bit better to kind of break this up rather than doing it in one long video. And of course, I will post this PowerPoint, or actually it's a Google slide presentation shortly. So to earn full credit for the orientation and meetings, I need you to sign up for individual planning meetings, and I am going to be posting a Google Sheet in our announcements. And you can see I have some days selected, 5/1, 5/6, 5/18. Those are Wednesday, Monday, and Wednesday, and of course I'm available by appointment. I can make myself available almost any time. Times that are not good for me, however, would be between 4 and 8 o'clock when I have to pick up my kids and we do dinner and family time. So, but after that, I'm always available, and those times are Eastern, of course. A lot of you, or a couple of you, have asked about the individual planning meetings. I've provided you a guide, and what I'd like you to do is to make a copy of that guide and then share it back with me. And all you have to do is click on the link and it'll automatically force you to make a copy. You may respond to those questions by typing, or just familiarize yourself and be ready to talk about them when we have our meeting. We will also meet or have a meeting between you and your mentor or supervisor. We need to do this by the end of May 31st, which is week 5, day 5. I will have a sign-up sheet for that forthcoming as well. In the meantime, please make sure that your site supervisor or mentor completes the agreement form, and that can be found in Blackboard under required documents, and it's also submitted there as well. This document is very important, and we cannot do your internship without this being completed, and we of course can't meet with your mentor supervisor without that being completed as well. With that said, it's very important that you share your handbook, the student handbook, with your mentor to help familiarize themselves with the program. There's also a mentor training video. It's my understanding that there's a glitch in it, so we're working that out, but that will need to be completed as well. Any questions, please go ahead and email me, and I'd be happy to answer those. We will be having a second site visit, and this will be a meeting between, again, you, myself, and the mentor supervisor. That must be completed by July 5th, which would be week 11, and the sign-up sheet is forthcoming. If I have any of these dates a little mixed up in terms of July 5th and week 11, day 5 not matching up, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure that I've coordinated those specifically. But I wanted to try to give you the dates to make it a little bit easier to schedule or to plan, rather than trying to figure out which day is week 11, day 5. And again, a sign-up sheet will be forthcoming with that. And of course, additional visits may occur as necessary. Usually this happens when there is a problem or an issue at your site. I've had very few of these occur over the last 7-8 years that I've been teaching this class. So I don't anticipate any of these, but if they do happen, we will need to schedule extra visits. With that said, before we move on, I just want to talk a little bit about your mentor or your internship and kind of going after it. Some mentors or supervisors are very good with giving you lots of challenges and responsibility, and unfortunately oftentimes some mentors and supervisors are not that forthcoming. In other words, they kind of sit back in the background. I don't want to say they don't take an interest in you, but sometimes they're not as proactive as they can be. I want you to look at this internship as a job interview, and like I said, if you are feeling a little bit, if you feel like there's not enough direction, try to find that direction on your own. If you are struggling with that, I would consult your mentor supervisor first and then consult me, or in reverse, maybe you and I can brainstorm some ideas before you approach that with your mentor or supervisor. But again, look at this as a job interview. You're doing your very best, and you're also representing GW, so we want you to uphold our reputation and make the most out of this opportunity, because it really is a great opportunity for you. So our reading board and reading and discussion boards, I'll go ahead and just let you look at this slide real quick. It's very important that you read the syllabus, and a lot of this information is in the actual reading and discussion board modules in Blackboard. But I will say this, the number one thing is you need to be thorough, and you need to respond to at least 2 to 3 of your peers by the end of each week, which is day 7, Sunday. Your post should be thoughtful, and again, there's a lot of guidelines, or there's several guidelines here that you can explore or take a look at. They go in more they go in more depth in the syllabus, so I would recommend looking at those. So our first discussion board is an easy one. You're just going to introduce yourself. I saw that Donald had already posted his, and I replied to that as well. This is an opportunity for me to get to know you and for your peers to get to know you as well. So have some fun with this. You're more than welcome to post a picture, but you don't have to. It's certainly not required. But have some fun with this. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And make sure to include something interesting, whether it's you have a pet, or you went on a great vacation, or you love to travel, or music, or favorite television show, book, that sort of thing. So our Module A readings are as follows. And we will also be reading Chapter 1 from Fierce Conversations. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. But I believe these readings are pretty straightforward. The Fierce Conversations book is actually a book that I'm familiar with. About, I'm going to say 5-6 years ago, I actually took a Fierce Conversations class. I was with an older edition of this book, but I found it very valuable, and I'm excited to be using this book. This is the first time that we've used it at GW, but I think it's really imperative, really a great resource, for aspiring administrators and leaders of any type, because one of the most difficult things to do is to have a difficult conversation with a staff member or a peer. So I invite you to take a look at that book, or take a look at that chapter, read it over, and soak it in. Now the journal. So yesterday you probably received a journal template from me. I have permission from GW to do this with Google Docs. And the reason is because the Blackboard feature really isn't that helpful. It forces you to leave comments at the bottom. There's a lot of scrolling, where Google Docs allows you to respond inline, and it also doesn't require a lot of uploading and downloading. I've used Word documents in the past. You have to you have to save, upload, and it's just the collaboration is not very easy and not very quick. So I will be looking at your journals and adding comments to that. And when I do that, I hope that you will respond to those and take those into consideration. You definitely will need to take my comments into consideration when you officially submit your journals. We do have to have a record of your journals, so you will be submitting journals 2 through 5 on May 26th. At the very latest. And what I'd like you to do is just to download your Google Doc journal as a PDF or Word document, and then upload it to the corresponding week, journal week in Blackboard. With that said, in terms of the Google Doc, I'm okay with you keeping one document and just making it explicit what week you're talking about. So week 2, you should have that up at the top, and it should be bold and easy to find with a date. That would be very helpful for me in terms of moving through your documents, because they do get quite lengthy. If you want to do individual journals, just make a copy and share. When I say individual journals, if you want to have one Google Doc for week 2, one Google Doc for week 3, so on and so forth, you can do that. Just make a copy and share that with me. Reflective practice is one of the best practices, one of the most powerful practices, and we should take this seriously. I will post a couple of examples of good journals and examples of not so good journals for you to take a look at. Good journals go in depth. They're reflective. They also talk about how you can learn from your experiences and what you'll do moving forward. Again, there's some more specific guidelines in the syllabus, and if you have any questions, just let me know. That's going to conclude our session for this evening. I will post another slideshow and video on the other required assignments in the syllabus. But until then, one last thing. I will be holding an office hour this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. They will not be. It's not required for you to attend. It will be a Collaborate session, and I'll post a link around for that. But if you have any questions that you want to ask me specifically, you're more than welcome to attend that, or just send me an email ahead of time. That works as well. All right, other than that, have a great evening, and I'm looking forward to learning from all of you and working with all of you this semester, and I want to wish everybody the best of luck.